All right. Yeah, I just want to take note that it was the sun that caused it. But the reason I know over here in this next door too at night, somewhere on their antenna, it's not like the metal, man. There's something on it that glows at night when the moon's out. And it always looks like there's a, one time I was out there walking back and forth in the yard, like, what is that? Is that an alien spacecraft? Then come to find out, no. There's a lot of optical illusions like that. Yeah, see, I could see another bright shining spot now below where it was at. Um, but the reason why things like that trigger me is because of I've had the unfortunate ness to get fiber optic cabled, and basically see, I think this is what they was doing. They was using, well, right when I said that, the roof, there was a knock on the ceiling in the roof. Probably a bird though. It is sunset. But listen, anyway, what it is basically a remote control car is placed under your trailer, and it's all open under there. Or it can even be, I put in fiber optic cables in Florida for Verizon, and they have these machines that can burrow and tunnel under the ground. So basically, they just hire some Mexican illegals to dig them, so grab their shovels and come dig in the tunnel and and then they can take that. Hey, Holmes, we can build tunnels, man. And then they can go get paid from El Chapo and the CIA. You know what I'm saying? Basically, and these, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Fucking, I know that's real sick with it, but you know, I mean, I realize this. The bomb robots that they have a dude sitting in a suit. He's got a remote controller, just like the freaking video games. And he drives this machine. It's got a little drill on it. It's got a little claw. It's got a camera. It's got wheels. It can raise up. It's got a jack, a boom on it. I mean, it's a small version of all these different things, right? So, after a while, I started connecting the dots. Like one time I was standing there taking a piss in the trailer, and something knocked the floor below me. And then it creeped me out, and I went in the other room, and as I'm sitting there, then I heard metal move in the vent. And you know what I'm saying? I know that sounds real freaking crazy, but look, the other day my mom said that she was sitting here by herself, and she heard the vents making all kinds of noise. No one was here. And I was like, thank God that you heard that. Because, no, I'm not just hearing things. Actually, when I lived in Tampa, too, it always sounded like someone walked in the roof. And there was a dang vent above us. And on every like, there's two apartments, side by side, vents. Or one, like a roof. You can get up in this thing and maybe get through the whole thing anyway. Strange things like that, man. And now looking, they do have the technology to do this. I mean, they have it now. But guess what? Whatever they're showing us that they got now that we can substantiate for showsy, they got something they ain't let us know about. You know what I'm saying? As well. And like whatever they're showing you is outdated. And it's just, that's the nature of the art of war is based on deception. You know what I'm saying? So when you step into studying this shit, you gotta know off Jump Street, you're gonna meet a lot of deceivers. There's gonna be a lot of lies, hype, propaganda, false rumors, gossipings, exaggerations, straight up planned and engineered, manufactured narratives as well. I mean, stuff like this. But it's creepy, man. It's part of that gang stalking too. And I heard that they can get people on closed circuit television. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, in a way, they make you this martyr, and but it's so covert the way they did it. No one else even knows that it's really going on. And then if you start saying, "Hey, man, I think there's a fucking robot, a police bomb robot under the house doing surveillance on you guys. I'm sorry, I gotta be the guy to tell you. You know what I'm saying? And basically, they look. It's easier for them to think that you're crazy than to accept that. Then they'll get raided a month later, and you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Don't listen to you know what I'm saying? Your local conspiracy consultant now. Uh nope. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, I be compiling, taking notes of the predictive programming so I know what to look for because they broadcast it before it happens all the time, dude. It's called telegraphing. They're telegraphing certain elements of their moves. You know what I'm saying? And some of the things they're going to utilize. And look, just look into that, into the Mars rovers, which are they're little machine robots, little miniature robots with a camera. Boom, that's all you need for surveillance. Like I said, you can put a drill in it and a pry bar or you know what I'm saying? I can use my imagination and see it would be real easy to get it done. Just wait till no one's home, come do a sneaky peek, have someone walk in there with the frickin' punch, a hole punch, and just go to certain strategic points in the house in the ventilation system and pop it. And you know, most people wouldn't notice these things. You know what I'm saying? But it was insane. But I would notice things like that because, like, look, I would hear a noise and I'd be like, man, it sounds like something's in that fucking van. But I know it could sometimes in the winter, heat and cold makes things extract, and expand. But when you go from room to room and this thing seems to follow you, uh, and it sucks to find out now because they've probably seen horrible fucking embarrassing things, dude. And that's part of making a martyr out of you, and no one else knows about it except for them. It's just how bullies operate. Bullies don't bully people out in the open when the authority's around. They only do it when no one's watching. What if the bully is the authority and no one watches them? They can operate any way they want, and this is one of the cold hard things I had to learn, man. That, yeah, now thinking back, I always attributed it to some kind of supernatural thing, and that's exactly what magicians do. Is they make you think it's one thing when it's another. So I fell victim to this because I was unaware of it, but I did know what it was. It's the army of the Antichrist, the NWO boys, the New World Order. You know what I'm saying? And it's just covert. You know what I'm saying? It's so covert. You know, I can't really prove it. And then they don't particularly out in the open attack me at all neither. So I mean, I don't know if maybe it was a group and it wasn't the regular police and it was some multi-joint task force that came in at different times. So I can't even, it's like the locals wouldn't even know about it. You know, don't let the left hand know what the right hand's doing type of a situation, the way magicians work. So it's real crazy, man. But like, I'm pretty sure, yeah, dude, sneaky peeks and planting bugs, strategic pinhole cameras, let me think, and points like, listen, I believe they had a freaking mobile device under the freaking trailer because listen, I was sitting there with my cousin, dude, and me and him was in there, right? We just got done moving and it was all empty, and I goes, dude, why from across those railroad tracks is there a freaking power wire going from over there in those bushes basically under your fucking trailer, dude? And then he couldn't accept it at that moment. He just said, dude, you're really fucking making me paranoid, man. And it's like, dude, but look, there's no, who put that there? Why would they do that? And it's like, boom, there you go. These bastards and their freaking X-Files, machine brain robots, man. AI, Skynet, Terminator, like prototypes, like Johnny Five, must survive. Humans must die now. It's that's what it's all leading up to, man. And this is all that agenda behind it too, man. It is a brave new 1984 in the Terminatrix, and you know, freaking sucks, man. I wish I was what's his name, man? Jules Byrne or something like that. the dude who wrote time. I was at a freaking time machine, and I could go back in time and sick the gremlins on these people and their freaking uh, funked ass surveillance, all seeing eye tech, man, Sauron tech. One ring controls them all, type tech. And CERN, there it is. And CERN is a quantum computer. And I've noticed, man, it's like a sparring partner in the computer. He's fucking with me all the time. And they're getting better. It's like they hide, they come back, give you a wave, then they kind of wait, develop a new strategy, come by, see how you do. And the best way, don't give them more information than it needs to know. And I seen a dude straight up just like making the Google. He was asking it questions it couldn't answer. You know what I'm saying? Which was dope. You know what I'm saying? It's like there he exposed the underbelly, the weakness, and like I said, all of us are doing our own part. To crack open uh, the perception of these things. It's not for myself. It's really for other people. It's like don't like I remember people when I was growing up. They'd say you need to go do what's right because I don't want you to learn the way I did. You know what I'm saying? And now I feel myself entering the same type of a mindset. Like, yeah, man, don't learn the hard way like I did. But I mean, hey, but one thing about even learning things the hard way, you still learn something. So I mean, it's your experiences. So you don't want to waste people's experiences neither, dude. There's lessons to be learned from everything, even the bad things. There's good lessons to be taken from them. And then you look at the things that we consider good, and you see there's all this cloaked badness in it, and that's kind of sad. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of does make you look around and at your environment totally different, kind of with this like skeptical, suspicious eye, always waiting for like an enemy attack, a maneuver. And that's part of the reason why they've done it in such a way, is because it's called conditioning or sensitization. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they got these code word. It's basically like gaslighting. It's like they can gaslight you in such a way and use the internet to do it, coupled with weird influences around you in real time. It's like there's no connection to these people. So how are they operating off the same? Why are they using the same words all in the same day? Is that synchronicity, or is it like I heard of something called a double mirror? A double mirror is basically like, how you say a question or tell like have a bunch of kids sit in a line and tell the first one something, have them keep going down the line and saying the same thing, even though it's not exactly the same as it gets to the end. It still came from the original starting point. So in a way, a third party can just speak in such a manner where they plant that word in their mind previously, knowing that the potentiality of it coming up again is high. You know what I'm saying? And either that or it's a freaking conspiracy. And there's a lot of people in some kind of massive organization somehow. Only thing I can think of is like on Jason Bourne, when all the agents for the CIA, gang stalkers, all get text messages all at the same time. And I heard, here's the same thing. A joint task force operation. Now that I know about these things, I mean, this dude was telling me, dude, he said this other guy was talking to him, and they said they have enough agents, they can have 30 people on one person at a time. And that fits the bill of this thing. And then at the time, I didn't know about joint task force operations. And you can also call it FLETC, federalization. It's like, listen, the police for the most part roll by the local laws, but there comes a time when the feds be like, you got to come in and you're under us, so don't worry about it. It's under our authority, so it's on us. And it's a dual code. There's we got to present this public image of we're your friend, we're here to help. But behind closed doors, they also do FLETC or ETC, in which is to treat everyone as if they're the enemy, spying everyone, nothing sacred to no one, except for security and freedom or security and peace, which is just really covert terminology for martial law dictatorship technocratic dictatorship, scientific technocratic dictatorship.